Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to learn how to play 4 really cool ACDC introductions. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at 4 really cool ACDC introductions off of the album Back in Black. Now I know what everybody's thinking, Back in Black, man, I've heard that album 400,000 times if I've heard it once. But trust me, the licks in this lesson are going to show you some really cool things that I think any guitar player can benefit from, whether you're intermediate or an expert or just learning how to play guitar. First of all, Angus Young is fabulous, and his brother Malcolm played awesome rhythm parts, and those two guys played off of each other, you know, just as good as any rock and roll duo guitar playing team that I can think of. Possibly, they may even be the best pair of guitar players that played off of each other. Fantastic. Their tone was great. They used old Marshalls. Old Marshalls have a very mid-range, barky kind of sound. They're very gritty. They have their place within a mix between drums and bass that's just perfect. Not too distorted. They and just basically the tone is very rich and very true on those albums, and that really creates a lot of atmosphere and texture in their guitar tones that make the riffs sound even better and stand out. So Angus Young, one of my all-time favorite players. ACDC is a great band, undeniably. So let's take a look at the first riff, which will be in Back in Black. Now, Back in Black is trickier than you would think. A lot of guys and gals out of here try to play this song. The rhythm is wrong, and the rhythm in this song is something that's very important that you have to focus on in order to get it right and in order to execute the pentatonic minor lick that follows the end of the main part of this riff. So let me play this riff for you. Hopefully I'll get it right, and then I'll demonstrate it step by step, okay? So let's take a look. Now, when this album starts off, we're Back in Black. You hear him counting 1, 2, 10. So it's very important that you got to be able to feel that internal pulse. You got to be able to feel that metronome. If you can play to a metronome, even better, because it'll force you to play on the beat, and you'll be able to hear where you're coming in incorrectly, or if you're not coming in on time. So getting that main rhythm going, tapping your foot. Okay, so let's take a look at that. The song is in E, so we're going E, D, and A for the main part of that riff, the first part. So it goes. So E, D, A. And that lick comes in on the and of 1. So what I mean by and is when you count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. And on an upbeat, it's an and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But I don't want you to really count it. Don't get obsessed with counting. But if you move and your head is bobbing or your body's moving, that upbeat is when you're on an up movement. So check this out. I'm going to play that lick on this. When we go like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So it's on that upbeat. So check it out. And that rhythm is very important too, to go right on the downbeat. So what that last lick is so in between, basically it's a chromatic line that goes from G sharp to A sharp to B, but it starts on this B on the A string on the 2nd fret, and it rides up like that. Okay, so let's get to this little, that thing, right? That's the tricky part of this lick. So an E minor pentatonic scale is like this. It's, if you play it up on the 12th fret, it's, if you play it down here, it's the same thing. So what he's doing is he's descending on that E minor pentatonic. So it sounds like he's going on that last note, but he's bending it. So that lick is. And then you got to play it on the upbeat. 1, 2, 3. Like that. So. Now on that lick, this little, I'm playing it with my ring finger, the first chromatic G sharp, and then everything else is pinky all the way up. So we're just going B on the A string on the 2nd fret, then the 4th fret on the low E, which is a G sharp with your ring finger, up to the 5th, to the 6th, to the 7th, and then 3, and open on the high E string, 3 on the B string, open, so, and then on the 2nd fret on the G string, we're going to bend it a half a step. I take my 2 middle fingers so I can get a little bit more strength on it. It's going to be kind of quick. And then open, and then 2nd fret on the D string, which is an E. So slowly. Now one thing that makes that lick a little easier to play is I pull off the first time I hit this first 2 notes. I pick it and I pull off, which means I just let go, and then I pick everything else. Again, getting that on the upbeat is the key part to that lick. All right, cool. So I hope all that made sense. I kind of skipped around a little bit, but that's how you do it, right? So let's take a look at You Shook Me All Night Long, okay? So You Shook Me All Night Long is in the key of G major. So we're going to take a G chord, which is, we're going to take it like the D shape here. This, everyone knows a D, like, but we're going to move that shape up to the 7th fret. That's a G chord. You can also play that G like this. But we're just going to play these 2 middle strings right here, which is the G string on the 7th fret and the B string on the 8th. So it sounds like that. And then we're going to play an open D. So there's 3 strings involved in this chord, and that makes a G chord. All right, so that's your G chord. And we're going to roll back a little bit so it's chimey. And the intro sounds like this. Cool, so we're going to show you how to do that. So taking this chord again, this G, once again it's on the 7th and 8th fret, 7th on the G, 8th on the B, and an open D. You put a little bit of vibrato on it, it sounds chimey. So that little part is, I play this chord, and then I do a little bit of D pedal tone on the open D. Then I'm going to take my pinky and put it up on the 10th fret while I keep this chord shape down. And I let go of my pinky and I go back to that chord shape. So that last part is, and what I did is I went from a G to a D. I let go of my middle finger, so I'm just fretting the G and the B string on the 7th fret, and I still keep that D open, right? Then I switch down to the D, back down to here. And what I did on that is I'm playing the D chord with my middle finger and my ring finger, which is an open D, and then we're on the 2nd fret on the G string and the 3rd fret on the B, so it sounds like this. And then I take my pinky on the 3rd fret on the D and I go, and then I do this. So I slid up from the 3 to the 4. I keep this chord still fretted. I keep this chord fretted the whole time. I just go up to this D and pluck all the way down that D chord. So the introduction again is, we go back up to this. D and I put that low A on it also, on that final chord. So one more time slowly. And then the riff that starts off the song after that is G, C, and D. But it's going to go G, and then C twice, then back to G. So it goes between that G and that C twice, and then up to a D. So it sounds like that. And when I play that D, just to keep things simple, I use my pointer finger and my middle finger, and I fret it like that, because you can change these chords really fast. Like, doesn't really matter how you play that D, whatever feels comfortable for you, but you gotta palm mute between those chords and give that space and count and make sure your tempo is on time. And then the next part goes G, D, G, D, G. Like that. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the third lick, the third opening riff. We're gonna play Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. It's an E major or E minor. It kind of fluctuates between major and minor. So it's gonna sound like this. Let me play it for you. If you you noticed I'm plucking now. I put my pick between my middle finger and my palm like this, because we'll need it later in the song when we kick in. Like that, because it plays the same thing but heavier when the song kicks in. But I'm going to pluck with my pointer finger and my middle finger on the middle 2 strings, and I'm going to play the E and the G sharp in this E major chord. So if we take an E major chord, I'm playing the 2 middle strings, but I'm going to play it with my middle finger and my pointer finger like this, on the 2nd fret on the D and on the 1st fret on the G. And I'm going to go. So I'm doing 2 and 2 on the D and the G string, like that. And I'm going to slide into, I'm starting a couple frets low. I'm going to slide into this chord here, which is on the G and the B string, on the 4th and 3rd fret, and then go, which is 2 and 2 on the B and the G, back up here, and then open D and G, and then 2 and 2 on the A and the D string. So slowly. And you can hit that low E with your thumb, then go. Then goes. Then repeat everything again. When you pick it, when you turn up your volume and go full blast, you're basically just going to do the same thing. If you notice what I'm doing when I slide into this, I kind of do a little vibrato. I'm shaking my middle finger like this. That's kind of an Angus thing that he does. He does it on double stops. And you can do it here. All right, there's Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, so I hope that helps. Last one we're going to take a look at, which is very apropos for the holiday season, is Hell's Bells. So we're going to play Hell's Bells. It's an A. And we're going to play, just like that G chord for You Shook Me All Night Long was here, A is up here. So we're going to take an inversion of this A chord. It's like a power E, but we slide it up here. We're going to take these middle 2 strings, the D and the G string, and we're going to be on the 7th on the D, and we're going to be on the 9th on the G string, like this, and we're going to play a low A pedal tone. And it sounds like this. Malcolm's in the background going. Now, if you're the only guitar player in the band, you got to play both those parts, which is possible. You can go. Okay, so this lick is really easy, but it's really cool sounding and it's fun. So what we're doing is we're going low A, and then we're going to take this 9th fret and the 7th fret on the middle strings and just pluck down like that. And then let go of the pinky and just pluck that straight down the G, D, and A string, and then slide it down. Back up, and then repeat. And then do, which is C, B, A. you go, Hell's Bells. Easy, cool, and awesome. I hope this lesson was informative and helpful. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.